Trying to start your personal chef business with weekly meal prep services, aka personal chef services, but you're kind of confused and stalled out on setting your pricing? Well, that is what we are going to dial in for you today. Pricing is a huge roadblock for a lot of people who are starting their personal chef business and struggle and stall out. That's why in the Personal Chef Business Academy, we have a whole lesson just on pricing weekly meal prep services. It goes right into your first decisions that you need to make before you start taking clients, like what food you love to cook, building your recipe collection, what services you want to do, and what type of client that means is going to want your services. Most strugglers, when they're trying to get started, get stuck on pricing. And the interesting thing about that is they spend so much time fretting about pricing and their business name and their logo and their colors and branding and things that don't even matter yet. They can't move on to the point where they start taking paying clients. And spoiler alert, that's really the only way to have an actual business, right? You have to have paying clients. So what we're gonna do today is cut through all that crap, get you started picking a price for weekly meal prep services, also known as personal chef services, the absolute fastest way possible. And the easiest, fastest way is to do a little competitive research, all right? What this does is just give you the best sense of what personal chef service pricing is like in your area, because this is actually one of the biggest drivers of pricing. You might have heard some gurus telling you that you shouldn't look at other people, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to them, you just need to set your pricing and whatever. Well, sorry, it might not be popular, but personal chefs in New York City make a lot more than personal chefs in John Day, Oregon. That's just the way it goes, right? So when you have your pricing dialed in, you can move on to the fun part, the cooking for clients who love you and love your food. And honest, this is easier than you think. So again, the most important thing when you're looking at your area to see what personal chefs are charging for this same service is to make sure you're comparing apples to apples on the pricing. And I recommend you start with flat rate plus grocery reimbursement. So look for personal chefs in your city or in your area that are doing a 5 entree service with a grocery reimbursement. Now, if you're hell-bent on including groceries in your pricing or doing hourly pricing, that's fine. Just be 100% sure that when you're looking around, you're comparing apples to apples, but it's gonna be a lot more difficult. So first, just Google the words personal chef and whatever city or area you're in. So literally just personal chef Madison, Wisconsin, or personal chef Portland, right? Wherever you are. Then start clicking through sites. Now, of course, it's probably gonna start with some listings like Thumbtack. You're not interested in that. Listings like, I think it's Salted Chef or something, which are companies that hire out personal chefs, and you're not looking for that. You're looking for actual people that have a business like you wanna have, where it's them doing personal chef services. And now listen, I know not all personal chefs have their pricing right on their website, and that's okay. Just get started, find a few so that you can just get a sense for what pricing for a week's worth of meals is in your area. We've done a huge report, and it goes all the way from like $200 to $600. Of course, a lot of that can be experience and other things, but at the end of the day, where you are will really make a big chunk of part of the decision of figuring out a starting place for your pricing. This is just the easiest, fastest way to pick a price for your service. And again, that's only one thing to consider. There's your experience, your confidence, even professionalism, sometimes your specialty if you're doing something really intricate, complicated, or that's at a really, really high value. And if you're going rogue, maybe you're doing a smaller service, so that's something to take into consideration too. But hands down, the most important thing, whether you're taking just your location into consideration or all those other things, is just make a decision and move forward. Don't tell your mom and your bestie and your auntie your price and have them go, oh my God, that's so expensive. You can't make that. I'd never pay that. And then change your pricing, because then your uncle says something different and you change it again. And then you tell one potential client and then you change it again. Rule number one about your pricing of services in your personal chef business is don't listen to anyone who doesn't have a business, never had a business. What in the hell would they know? Number two, doesn't know anything about specifically a personal chef business. Again, what in the hell would they know about it? And third, and might be the most common one you're gonna run into, would never ever be a potential client for a personal chef service. Of course they think it's too expensive, right? And that's okay. Personal chefs are not for everyone, just like a house cleaner isn't for everyone or a lawn service isn't for everyone. And again, that's totally okay. There are things out there for everyone, like takeout, pre-made meals at the grocery store, mail order meal prep boxes, and then there are personal chef services. And where on that scale of things do you think personal chef services fall, right? So listen, if picking your pricing for your personal chef service is literally the only thing that's stopping you from starting to talk to people, just skip the Googling, save yourself a few hours, or if you're struggling to find anyone who has their pricing on their website, we have a pricing report right up at thepersonalchefbusinessacademy.com that you can grab. Right now it's $7 and it has over 60 personal chefs pricing on it for meal prep services. So even if your city's not on it, you can find somewhere that's comparable. Like if you live again in John Day, Oregon, and John Day, Oregon's not on there, you can see other very small towns in rural areas to kind of get a comparison. And remember, you're trying to compare flat rate plus groceries for a 5-entree service, which is the basic place to start when you're doing personal chef services, also known as weekly meal prep services. So again, there's a link right below this video where you can get it. And if you're interested in doing weekly meal prep for clients, but you're not sure how they work, you're not sure that you could cook all those meals together at one time and you need to practice, there's a link right by here too for our free guide that shows you how to pick recipes that'll work well together when you're trying to do the prep all at one time, all the way through packaging it all up. Because I'm telling you, the clients are out there and they are hungry for what you're cooking.